the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
A storied franchise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That calls Lambeau home.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah,
Hawker? Good
Tough one for the Pack yesterday. Bake, hell of a day for Bake. I want to start with that. I keep it positive. Baker spread the ball. He threw 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. Godwin still had over 100. So a lot of credit to Bake and that offense for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and obviously it's been announced 1,000 times. The only away quarterback to ever have a perfect passer rating in Lambeau is Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
The only other person, by the way, is Aaron, I think. Aaron's the only other one to have a perfect passer rating in there. And Ty, I saw your overreaction tweet.
Yep.
And you said, okay, everything's still in front of you for the Green Bay Packers, especially with the way the NFC is kind of cooking. 7-7, if you're there, you're in. You are in a good spot in the NFC. Yesterday just couldn't stop that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. They ran all over the place. He threw all over the place.
Right.
And once again, Joe Barry appears to be one of the worst defensive coordinators in the history of the NFL. Ty, while you're watching this game and you're watching Bake do something historic to Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a great ball player.
He is a good ball player.
Sharp White is a great football player. Chris Godwin, absolute great football player.
Great
10
football
receptions,
player.
155 yards.
Yep. Yeah, he game time decision too. So you're thinking maybe, hey, he's not going to have one of the best games of the year, but he did.
He had his best. Remember, not too long ago, his wife is on Instagram.
Exactly.
Pissed.
Saying, I don't like what's going on with my husband. And husband comes out and is a part of history.
Had to do what she had to do.
She certainly did.
Last 2 weeks, he's gotten a lot of balls.
Yeah, a lot of balls going to Godwin's way. Maybe the coaches are like, that's not just her thoughts. We assume there's a little pillow talk, and they're right, by the way. And it has helped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But when you watch Baker do what he did, and then you guys lose that game, one that I think we all thought potentially Packers bounce back and win this one.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
What's going through your head? What's going through your mind? And how do you feel right now at this moment?
If I have to listen to Matt LaFleur get up at the podium post-game one more time this year and say, like, hey, we got outcoached. We got outplayed. I got to go look at the tape. We did everything terrible in all 3 phases. I'm going to jump off a bridge and kill myself.
Whoa, we need you. Don't do that. It's
I
football.
don't understand. Like, that doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like I don't even know how to say it without saying the F word.
What was that?
It makes you look like a moron.
Okay.
An
You were gonna
absolute
say
dipshit. Something. It makes you look so stupid. Like, and Joe.
F you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is what you were about to say.
Exactly.
Way to save yourself.
He's been loyal to Joe Barry. I don't know why. It makes no sense. Last week with Tommy DeVito, that's one thing. Like, I understand that. We heard all these people who are, very smart football minds that basically said, like, hey, once this guy plays a real defense, like, it's over for him. Boom. You see what happened yesterday. He played 1 quarter, got his head slammed off the turf. It's over for him.
Hey, we hope you're okay, Paz.
Enjoy it.
Okay,
Enjoy
Paz.
it. And he looked like, Brett Favre against the Packers. And then the same thing. Like, it's not the offense. It really isn't. I mean, I feel like Jordan Love he's looked good. They have the youngest offense by a wide margin in the NFL. But it's like 1 week you can't stop the run. Then the next week you let Baker Mayfield, who, again, I like Baker Mayfield. We had him on the show in person earlier this year. Like, I root for Baker Mayfield. I want to see him do well. But for him to go in there and, I think he started the game like 11 for 11. It's the same thing. Like, this play right here, just no effort. Guy catches like a 4-yard, little ball.
Great effort at the end there. That was a full review.
Yeah, absolutely. But it just, nothing ever changes. And I don't understand why you hold loyalty to this guy when he clearly sucks at his job. He's dog shit. He has been from the day he got hired. He was dog shit at his 2 previous jobs. I don't understand. Like, maybe it's the boys club in the NFL where it's just like, hey, listen, we know this guy sucks. He's a moron. He's a dipshit. But my sister's, married to his son or something like that. Like, it seems like that always works. These guys are just related somehow. He should have never gotten the job in the first place. He won't fire him because that's just the way it goes. Like, credit to the Steelers for actually getting rid of Matt Canada, and we'll see. Maybe that wasn't the smart move because they've been worse without him. And granted, they don't have Kenny, but like, I fully expect Joe Barry to be back next year. I've been talking with D-Butt all year. They draft Lucas Van Ness 13th overall. He plays like 6 snaps a game, and every single time. Yesterday, boom. Gets a sack, obvious passing situation. They sub him out. Baker throws for 17 yards right away. So instead of 2nd and 18, it's 3rd and 1. Like, just They had him behind the sticks all game, and then for some reason, guys are just wide open without any defender within like 10 yards. They sacked Baker 5 times. It's Groundhog's Day over and over again. And my tweet was more so like, I don't understand how coaching-wise going into this stretch when it was like you look at these 5 games, it's like
Giants, Bucs.
and then you got the Panthers next week who like even anymore, it's like, is that a guaranteed win? Absolutely not. And then you close with the Bears and the Vikings. They should have been able to win at least 4 of those games, you would think. Compared, like looking at what their schedule was leading up to this and how well Jordan Love had been playing, but you can't rely on the defense ever. You haven't been able to rely on the defense since AJ played, and they won the Super Bowl. That was 12 years ago. Like it's a joke, but nothing's ever going to change. So there's really no point in even getting pissed off about it because it's just the same shit over and over again.
AJ, why are we always chatting about the Packers defense? Now, obviously, it's the way Ty thinks, but even the last few years, it's always like if you go back to NFC Championship, 3 years ago, 180 yards rushing before contact was given up. And it's like, if we address that potential issue, maybe you'll be able to go. Haven't been able to do it. Is it personnel? Is it obviously Joe Barry is not great? When you watch, why do you think that it is what it is right now with this Green Bay Packers defense?
I think like everything that's going wrong with any team in the NFL, it's a combination of things, no question. Like personnel, sure. They have tons of talent, though, when you look at that defense. Kenny Clark still had a couple sacks yesterday playing well. But, yeah, I don't know. Why do you put your finger on it? And you talk about Joe Barry as the D coordinator. Ty, are you that confident that he's going to be there next year? I mean, I hear people talking about they're trying to boot him right
being
now.
ridiculous. That's Ty being ridiculous.
Not even, though. They should have fired him after last year. Like, their defense was so bad down the stretch and all year, and it was the same thing. After all these games, LaFleur says, like, we're going to look at everything. Or he publicly questions, like, I don't know why he was calling this here. I don't know why we were playing so much zone when Baker was just chewing us apart. And then nothing ever happens. Like I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to have that difficult conversation and actually fire a guy or what, or like if he's being super loyal to him, but he shouldn't have had the job coming into this year, and they're not going to fire him right now. Why would you with 3 games left or whatever? But yeah, at this point, I do fully expect to see him back next year.
How about, you remember he was completely out on the season.
This is nuts.
Then he was all the way back in on the season.
Yep.
Now, emotionally distraught about the Packers
There's
right now.
no reason to be hopeful at all.
Well, you were, though. That's why you're so angry right now.
You were hopeful like 7 days ago.
No, I wasn't. I was pretty much done after that Giants loss, and I had a bad feeling going in today. But the good thing is that it isn't Jordan Love's fault. It's not.
So we got the answer at one very important part.
I think so. I've been happy with the offense, but again, this defense will suck until an asteroid hits the world and it explodes 1,000 years from now. So does it matter? Probably not.
Emotionally attached.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about asteroids. 1,000 years from now, blowing up all of Earth will be the only way to fix that defense.
Baker's a sweet boy who had a great day.
Let's talk about Baker being a sweet boy. Here's an interesting stat from Hembo. Only Rodgers had ever had a perfect passer rating at Lambeau. And compared to Tom Brady at this time last season, Baker, maybe he shouldn't be so distraught.
Hold the phone.
Baker Mayfield has more yards per attempt, better touchdown-interception ratio, a higher QBR, and a better record. This guy's playing better than Tom Brady.
He's a great player.
Okay?
He's a great player.
Maybe it's not Joe Barry's the problem.
No.
Maybe Baker Mayfield had all the answers.
Baker Brady.
Could be.
Maybe that was what it was.
But that doesn't.
He was threading the needle yesterday, Ty. If you see it like multiple times, they're working
agree.
like the seams, like with the back or somebody else that's like a slot receiver. Like they work the seam. Baker fits some balls in some tight spots that I think some QBs may be scared to even pull the trigger on.
I agree, but when you also have the Bucks in like 3rd and 15 or longer, like 12 times in the game, and they get a first down every single goddamn time.
That's
like,
a play. That's a good play.
Those are tough.
It is. Like,
Those are tough.
That drives me nuts. And you're right, Baker is playing unbelievable, but that doesn't excuse how Joe Brady made Tommy DeVito look like Adrian Peterson circa 2013 last week with him just scampering all over. I mean, it is. Like, again, you don't want to take away anything
They're
from
handing out
Baker,
balls in Lambeau.
but every single time, like, there's a big play, too. You got 2 D-backs looking at each other, throwing their hands up like neither one of them knows what the hell's going on. I don't know if that's personnel, if that's coaching. I think it's all the above, but I don't know, man. It's just It's just that was a great pass.
Oh, what a catch.
That was a great
That
pass.
was a dart.
But again, what was? Oh yeah, that was a. They'd just gotten a sack. End of the half. They push them back. It was
Godwin
second
back
and
to
22, and then Godwin.
2nd and 29 here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
2nd and 29.
Oh,
Gotta
no.
stop. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
backpedals
Boom.
for another
Yeah.
4.
Yep, right into field goal range.
2-minute
And
drive.
a half.
Handling that better than Trevor Lawrence in
Sure.
the Jacksonville
Nice.
Jags. That was
Lord.
wild last night. But Bake gets a big-time win. The Bucs go into Lambeau and do their thing and obviously steal the happiness directly out of all Green Bay Packers fans. But future's bright,
Yeah, on offense. Yeah, future's bright.
which is Matt LaFleur,
I've made some throws.
which is good.
I want him gone too.
He's offense coordinator. What do you
I
want?
don't care.
You want another offense coordinator for Jordan Love?
Absolutely.
Jeez, you're calling for everybody.
I am. I'm sick
Hell
and
yeah.
tired of it. I'm sick and tired
yeah.
of it. I want everybody gone.
You said there's no point in even getting mad, though. You seem to be a bit upset.
Yeah, well, I'm pissed. So you know what? I want him to have a shitty Christmas too.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's not very holiday spirity of you, but
It's not.
I do appreciate that you've gotten yourself, because you kind of worked your way into a shoot. Because at the beginning, it was like Jordan Love may, not really caring,
Yeah, true.
following along. Hey, we got the guy. We'll be able to. Then you got a little bit of, oh, wait a minute. You started believing.
Started seeing them in the. They were in the playoffs. They were in that slot firm.
Sunday
Beating the
night.
Lions on
Yeah.
Thursday
Yeah.
night on Thanksgiving.
And then they got beat last week, and they're still in that slot. Hey, we're okay. We should have beat the Giants. We didn't. We're still in the playoffs. No big deal. Get embarrassed at home. I fully expect next week to be a shit show and them to get beat by Carolina on Christmas Eve. I hope they don't, but I swear to God, I think they're going to.
Hey, Carolina's a good ball club.
They are.
They
Big
just
win.
beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Big win.
Ready.
They just beat the Atlanta Falcons so bad that if you're from Atlanta, the only thing you can post on X is how much you hate Arthur Smith. That is how bad. That is how bad they beat the Atlanta Falcons. Now,
memes.
came down to a game winner. Came down to a game winner, and the weather was terrible. This was played in the smallest crowd in the history of the NFL, non-COVID era. Okay, during the COVID era, there may have been less people in the stands than this. Maybe we don't know.
Not
Bad
sure.
We
weather.
have no idea.
Sweet jerseys, too.
Great jerseys.
Helmets.
Man, nobody loves a red zone turnover like Ritter does.
No way.
Lives for him.
He's not scared to go ahead and toss it to the other team when we're about to score, like Trevor Lawrence last night. There's a couple
Yeah.
different things. Tabor was dancing and a lot.
yeah.
You're talking about the Panthers being like, yeah, Falcons are now scheduling their vacations right alongside of us.
Sweet.
That's like they took that's all they did. They
Yes.
just took happiness for somebody else, and it was like worth it, 100%. We love it. So if the Panthers, who are coming off a big-time win, do beat the Packers on Christmas Eve, can't wait to see you.
Oh boy.
Can't wait to FaceTime in the middle of that. He'll be, 10 whiskeys deep, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
Just, of course.
That's
Yep.
not happening. They're not. Packers won't let that happen. There's no way.
Is that right?
No way, Ty.
AJ, you suiting up for him on defensive side of the ball? You calling plays for him?
No, they don't want that. But I just feel
They
like,
do.
Hey,
man, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think as long as you do have your quarterback, does Ty believe Jordan Love is the quarterback of the future? For
Yes,
sure.
I do.
Okay, then you should be a little bit relieved then, because everything else, like
AJ,
we all know,
they've
that's
had-
the
they had-
toughest piece to get.
Yeah, but they had Rodgers and Favre for 30 years and won two Super Bowls because the defense sucked almost every single year. And the
That's on you.
and the
Didn't
2
even get
years
out.
it didn't,
Yeah.
they won a Super Bowl. Like it's maddening. It's maddening. It's insane, but that's the way it is. That's life.